Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Kirby Fair Show, joined by Sam Ald. Sam, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. We're back.
We're back. It's been a month?
I think over a month and a half.
Little bit of a month. Sam went on vacation, boys trip. Next year
trip.
I'm going. I'm joining the the fantasy league, so I guess like getting my foot in the door.
Exactly.
Next step is the invite. Let's see. I've been home for a month, back in Baton Rouge, chilling out with the old parents. Uh, you know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
They're nice to be home. Definitely working my muscles a little bit, as I've talked to you a good bit about, Sam. Everything. I'm the most useful thing for me is just lifting things and walking them to a different place in the house, because every time they're always trying to improve something in the house or clean out the garage in this point or whatever. So you can't look too strong. That's I'm gonna work on that by the next time I come home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to go
Middle of the pack
lean.
strength.
Yeah, I'm gonna go lean in the gym, not trying to bulk anymore. So there's that. What else? I got a dog.
Okay.
Yeah, her name's Gigi. We've had her for like 9 days. She's a little puppy and she's a bit of a terror.
Can I be honest? I thought that was just like one of your family dogs because I don't think you ever said like, "Oh, we got this dog." You're just like Gigi, and I'm like, "Hey, that's a cute dog."
Did
I'll
I not?
heart react that.
Are you finding out right now that I just
I'm
adopted that
finding
dog?
out right now.
No!
Yeah.
No, that's my new dog.
Well,
We
thumbs up
adopted
for
her
Gigi.
like, I guess 2 weeks ago, maybe. But Gigi, she came from the old shelter.
Yeah.
So they call it.
It's a
I
good
don't
way to
think
get
they
a dog.
go. I don't think the pound is
Has a negative connotation. I feel
PC
like.
anymore. So she came from the shelter, and the first like 5 or so days, she was great. She was listening to me, coming when I called her name. She was sleeping in her kennel. But now, it feels like I have a child all of a sudden, and
Yeah.
she's testing us. You know, she's
Is there
whining.
is there a favorite emerging? Would
It's
that be a point of
tough.
contention if there was a clear favorite?
I mean, obviously, I am insecure, so
For you, there'd be a point of
yeah.
contention.
Like the first like 2 days, she was like really into Caroline, and I was like, I told you that. I was like, I think I'm emerging the favorite. Did you not pull it together?
No, I'm just like, oh, cool, family dog.
No, with new family dog. Dad is getting used to her. Mom loves her already, so that
Of
was
course.
really funny. She was immediately like, "Oh my god, Gigi, do you want me to keep her?"
Of course.
Again, my mom sounds nothing like that. Um, but enough with the dog. In this past month, it was a little slow at first, and that's why we weren't recording, because we were in that slump. The post
Yeah.
NBA finals, WNBA was wrapping up. We had the All-Star game, the WNBA All-Star game. That was great. Skills contest, Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark declined to do the 3-point contest, which makes a lot of sense. I think there would have been way too much pressure on them, and Caitlin Clark didn't need that. But CC was having fun out there. Did you see her talking to all the celebs? All the celebs are out.
I haven't seen her talking to the celebs, but I've been seeing her, on her summer vacation. She was hanging out with the Iowa basketball boyfriend and like going to the Indianapolis Zoo or something. Like
She
it
went to the
seems like
zoo.
I saw the Fever posting or something like, oh, Caitlin and the kangaroo or something.
She might have just had her mind blown and gone to Chicago. Like,
Whoa,
she didn't need to be hanging out, and it's
that
like,
might be too big of a city for Midwest.
exactly. Just hang around Detroit, maybe. It's like me going to Gulf Shores in Alabama and being like, man, this is better than Palm Beach. It's got to be better. Floribama line, that's all you need in life. Says Caitlin Clark. But no, Diddy was not there. 50, no.
Flava Flav.
Usher was
Oh,
there. Usher, baby. And Asia Wilson was kind of flipping out, but she lost. The U.S. women's team played the All-Star team, and the U.S. women's team lost to the All-Star team, which was a
Yeah.
bit of flavor because,
Yeah.
all those girls that were on
Headlines
the All-Star
generating.
team were pretty, they had a lot more to play for than the US team.
Oh, for sure.
Um, but it was kind of a hard send-off because apparently right after the game, they went from Phoenix to London. I mean, to
Oh my
Paris, like
gosh.
that night.
That's
So,
insane.
that was a pretty horrible flight. But at least now, they got the women flying in private planes.
Yeah.
So,
They got the comfy seats, you know.
yeah, they didn't have to be miserable along, like, in 36B with the
We've
guy
all
that
been
leans
there.
his chair
Yeah.
way too far back.
Oh man. Or like the older person falling asleep and slowly leaning onto you, and hmm, we've been
Or,
there.
like, the guy that, like, really should have gotten a window seat and not sat on the aisle because he gets so mad every time we need to get up, and it's a 9-hour flight, so what do you expect me to do? Anyways, you really find a lot about yourself when you're in a middle seat on a on a multi-hour flight. But anyways, we're the Olympics finally started in late July, and it's really been giving me life back.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
to do. At least it starts at 8 a.m. here, which kind of sucks. Then it goes to like 3 o'clock. But bless that one guy, that black dude who does NBC with Colin
Mike Tirico.
Mike Tirico. Oh, they're making him stay up late on to cover these like to cover
Yeah.
Summer Olympics prime time for America. So he's on from like 8 to 10,
Jeez.
which is like 3 a.m. in Paris or
It's the
something.
Olympics though, yeah.
I mean, that's the job. Mike Tirico, I mean, talk about age has no limits. Because this man is eating it up. And he's the only one there. Like, he doesn't have anyone to bounce off against. He's like, and let's take it back to the track. Let's do that. And they also
Yeah.
make him do little interviews with people. Anyway, Mike Tirico, you're a legend. You're doing a great job. But the Olympics. America, of course, is destroying.
Of
What
course.
medal count are we at? What's the medal count looking like, Sam?
Let's find out. The US has 30 gold,
All right.
38 silver, and 35 bronze, so that's about 103.
Yeah.
And that's about 30 more than any other country, and one more gold than China. So
look at that. Sounds like we're the best.
And it was looking rough in the beginning. Like everyone's like, the US is washed. Like they're not up top. They're not even top 3. And then
they
what
were
do we do?
5th for a while.
Yeah. US resilience, and boom, here we are.
But I mean, what did we start with? We started with like the horse jumping,
the equestrian, yeah.
And like, we have money here, but we don't have British money.
Yeah.
And like British horses, they got it over there much more than we do. Like Dartmouth had an equestrian team, and I was just like, why are you guys, no offense, equestrians?
That's like old
Truly
money.
College equestrians. But what are you doing?
Did you see the picture of, I don't know where he was from, like Japan or something, and he won either like gold or silver, and he took the selfie with the medal and the horse right behind him?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, they should have given the medal to the horse. Yeah.
The horse did 98% of the work. But I guess you bought the horse, so I don't really know.
Who knows?
I don't know how Olympic stuff. Why don't they have horse races? That would be cool. Do they have polo anymore? I don't think so.
They have water polo, right?
It's tough, every 4 years. The Olympics really quite conveniently overlap with the election.
Yeah.
And it's a great time because those 3 years I'm sitting here being like, I should move. I should get out of here. Especially these last, 8 years. Let's be honest. The Kirby Fair show with Sam, I don't want to speak for you, but we're some libbies over here.
Yeah.
So, it's been tough looking at what's going on in the world. And I think that's really why I like sports, because for as much as I can, you can keep politics out of it and really keep your life separate. So that's, anyways.
And then it's like the one time when, you're seeing the US just absolutely dominate some country, and you just feel the patriotism flowing through you, and you're like, oh yeah, this is what it's all about right now. Like,
you're like,
LeBron just threw a huge alley-oop to Jason Tatum or something, and like, oh, that's what it's all about.
No, exactly. And with Kamala being announced, I mean, let's go. America is on
Oh
its way
no.
back. That's where I'm at. Do you remember Noah Lyles from earlier this year?
Was he the runner who said, "Why does the NBA champions get to call themselves the world champions?"
Yes, he is. I read something today that's like he started it with his mouth and he cashed it with his feet because he's actually a world champion. He won the gold in the 100 meters, and then he ran the 200 meters, came in third. His teammate beat him. I always wonder about that. Like, you're just like,
Right.
should I let him get ahead of me? But he also raced with
Let
COVID, which I thought was an
Dang.
incredible feat, and he was very proud of himself for that. Which is like, I saw him with a mask ahead of the race, and I didn't know, and I was like, man, he's being really careful.
Wow, good for you, Noah.
Turns out he already had COVID, and it's just like, where'd you get that? Because no one else has it, and you've been around these people this entire time. And it was like, if that was 2020, the entire Olympics would have been shut down.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, interestingly enough, I must have been a TikTok or something about Noah Lyles where it was some, footwear brand was trying to film a commercial with him, where he'd be sprinting in the commercial, but because he was in active training for an event, he could only run like 3 times for the actual shoot. And so the directors had to like figure out how to like time starting the camera at the same time so that he goes, because you can't just say, okay, go. Like, he just has to go pretty much, and you just have to react that way. And so the director, whoever, said like on the first one, I just was watching him and told the camera person, all right, go now, and then it like synced up perfectly on the first take. And he's like, we got it.
We got
all
it.
right.
It's okay. You don't have to run anywhere. No, I guess I've never thought about that. How like you get them from like, why can't I just jog and they can speed it up?
Yeah.
It's called like After Effects. But yeah, he actually, my dad was commenting today, he like has diamonds in his hair. You know what? China's official sport is ping pong.
Did you watch the mixed doubles for ping pong?
No, I can't watch the doubles in ping pong. It's so stressful.
It was China versus North Korea, and it was insane. Like, the announcers kept calling the Chinese woman the little monster, and they kept saying it, and I'm like, I guess this is just her nickname or something. Like,
she's coined a little
it's
monster. That's
insane.
her.
Yeah.
That's so. I don't even know. It feels like something two people in a relationship could never do is to be ping pong double partners.
There's too much heat going on.
Going on. It's way tenser than you think. Like, I feel like two couples. I mean, there was that couple actually that broke up who was playing tennis doubles.
Tennis
and then
doubles, yeah.
There's just more.
Rom-com.
There's just more space on the court. Like, just being next to each other that entire time. Even just playing Wii ping pong with someone on the same team, I'm flying all over it. Because, in a video game, I'm putting my body on the line. Obviously, we're going to win. Just like the disrespect that would happen in that relationship is just like, why weren't you there? And it's so fast. Communication, I feel like couples can't have that natural communication to not get upset with each other.
Well, maybe it's just the type of relationship. They're always competing with each other,
I bet we could do it. We could be ping pong doubles.
Ping pong doubles. Oh, yeah.
I bet we could rule 2-on-2 basketball. Like, if we were actually good at basketball, I bet we could really do it.
Yeah.
We'd be experts at the pick and roll. They would name it after us. The Sam and Kirby.
Sam and Kirby.
Just completely foul someone, and I'll just come get the ball from you and go in for the layup. I mean, that's basically 3-on-3 basketball if we just had a little ghost friend. What if Gigi was our third and she would just go fight them? I would enjoy that. Beach volleyball, we could probably do that together. Because you're tall-ish. What are you, 5'10"?
Tall-ish, yeah, 5'10".
Yeah, we could do it. We could definitely do it because there's usually a shorter person. I'm the one diving, and then you're the one spiking. Right? I don't know. Would we be the team that wears hats and glasses, or would we be the team that wears nothing at all? We just go full natural.
It's a great question. I think we got to go full natural,
right? The hair is flowing. You had to grow your hair back out.
Grow it out,
Yeah, exactly.
bleach it again.
And then our necks are just so hot. It's just wait. I mean, they're right now. They're playing and it's right in front of the Eiffel Tower, which is pretty cool.
Tower. Yeah, no, that's an insanely cool venue for it.
Yeah, Norway took down Germany semifinals, and it was tough because both of them were pretty good. But it turns out Norway was didn't have the hats and sunglasses, and they ended up being my
That's what
team.
it
And it
takes.
didn't hurt that they were much cuter than the Germans either. So that was an easy one to root for. But before I get into too much boy talk, we have to take a break, Sam. Well, I want to quickly, of course, go over our favorite topic, women and their successes in the Olympics. Rugby. There's that new girl, Alana Ilioana, whatever. I hope she's not
Linamar.
listening to this because people really like her, but she's big on TikTok now. A rugby star. And I was like, you're kind of like a little mean sometimes. And they're like, she can't, she's really brutal. She's having all those TikToks, how good can she really be? And then I had that one thought, and then I saw her play the next morning, and I was like, bitch
All right,
could eat me. She was
TikToks, go
so
for it.
powerful. Her thighs were so, I was like, you could take on Goliath with those thighs by yourself. And they had a pretty good run. US rugby, I mean, I don't really know what happened to the men, but the women performed so much better than anyone expected. They ended up going to the semifinals, which was super exciting. Lost to Australia. No. Yeah, look at me. It was New Zealand. But that's the first time. It says a lot about women's rugby, which, I feel like, as I've said before, I'm a part of the rise of women's rugby. You got to have D3 schools playing women's
Yeah.
rugby out there. Got to get the word out, of course. And so, I felt it out there, but they were playing sevens, which is very different from 15s because someone like me who runs what did I run in that 40 at UNC? I think it
Like
was like a
eight
seven.
something.
It might have been a seven
Seven.
five.
Yeah.
I think it was a 7.5. Yeah, I couldn't help anyone in women's rugby sevens at a 7.5, but that's fine. I have my own places in, life, and it's I could bet I could coach. I bet I could be the ball. I could bet I could be the person that gets it right in the middle.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not on the sides. I'm just tackling, and I'm running about 5 yards at a time, and then I'm past. But they get the women's rugby gets the bronze medal, which is the first U.S. medal in rugby sevens ever. Then we got, of course, gymnastics. Caroline was like, "Kirby, are you really not going to talk about gymnastics?" And I was like, Caroline, you're right. I got to talk about gymnastics because even though everyone already knows the U.S. dominates, Simone Biles is actually the GOAT. Goodbye to Tom Brady. I'm over him.
Yeah.
Let's replace
Old
someone.
news.
If you think about it, at 5, what is she like? 4'11"?
Yeah.
The goatness in her per
Inch.
area is so much greater than Tom Brady that I think that says a lot, right?
It's more concentrated. That's probably why
More
she can jump so
concentrated
high.
goatness. Exactly. So I think that she takes it. This is her redemption tour because in Tokyo she kind of flamed out a little bit, which is okay because you come back 3 years later and you say, "I'm still here, bitches. I'm 27. I'm Simone Biles. I'm gonna win 3 golds." She won the team, so the U.S. won the team. Of course, we beat out all the other countries. Apparently, Brazil's really good. We got
Yeah.
our all around, which I think is every single event in the gymnastics. We got the bar, and she's really good on the floor. And then she also did the vault, which she has her own signature move, so that was a no brainer. And then she got silver on the floor because you got to leave room for other people.
Yeah.
But she got an early calf injury. Were you watching that? I saw it happen in
I
her
saw it
little
getting
practice.
taped up in
I was
like the
like,
flashback.
she was literally like the first day crawling across the
That's
gymnastics
insane.
floor or whatever you call it. What do you call that?
I think gymnastics floor is probably
Right? Like
adequate.
the
Yeah,
area?
it's the floor. Yeah.
It's the floor. But yeah, she came back. She destroyed her NFL husband, got off training camp to fly over there. So, right? He just went to the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bears are fine. They had their
Yeah.
Hall of Fame game. They didn't need him. They're in the right place with Caleb Williams. They're not worried about it. And then what else? Sonny Lee wins the bars bronze. You ever have you ever done bars?
Nope.
You gotta try it.
That's the one where you're like jumping up and doing twirls around like this.
They literally
What do you mean you gotta try it? I don't think I'd like be able to do the
once you
full
get a
loop.
little momentum, it's
I don't think I
dangerous.
could get the momentum though.
You're flying and you're like, I'm so powerful. I watched
I
this
feel
one
like the
video.
first time I go around, it's like my grip releases and then I just like shoot off. That's what I'm envisioning in my head if I
Well, no,
try it.
you gotta do the LeBron with
Yeah.
all the chalk, obviously. And then we got Jordan Childs wins bronze on the floor, doing her little dance as well, doing all
Hmm.
sorts of flips and doing it all within this little box that you have to step in. But apparently, Simone Biles on the floor didn't do like a little salute to the judges, and she got docked 0.003.
Okay.
I didn't know you had to salute the judges. Maybe I am misinterpreting what salute means, but I say go fuck the judges because maybe she didn't need to salute you. Maybe you didn't deserve it.
Did you see after all the gymnastics medals and stuff and how the U.S. dominated? Like the whole team just started subtweeting. I forget who it was, but someone basically said like this team's not going to be any good because they got rid of the abusive medical staff person, and so they just don't have that dog in them anymore. Like they need the abuse to be good. Like
Yeah,
whoa.
I saw that when I was researching today, and the girl now is saying, please stop bullying me, Simone Biles fans. Cyberbullying isn't cool. And I was like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, spread the word, but also like don't
But
talk
like
shit.
yeah, don't dish it if you can't take it.
As they say on Love Island, great season. Don't don't dish it if you can't receive. Don't no, that's Irish. Let me see. What does she say? Don't dish it if you can't take it back.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was good. Yeah.
There we go. And other than that, there's this new little nerdy dude that does gymnastics, and he has the largest shoulders I've ever seen. He does it on like the horse, and he just kind of goes like that.
Yeah, he's Mr. Saddle Horse. Like
Saddle horse, that's what it's
they
called.
he doesn't do anything else. They're like, all right, we need a great performance to win a medal, and they're like, bring out Mr.
Bring
Saddle
him.
Horse, and he comes out and he's this little nerdy white guy with his glasses, and then he puts his glasses in the chalk bowl, and he's like, all right, I came here to to do the Saddle Horse.
Have you seen the meme that's like bisexuals type is that rugby girl and that nerdy white dude?
That's good.
And I was like, I thought we were trying to get rid of bisexual hate.
I saw
Apparently, we're still gonna roast him.
I saw the Mr. Saddle Horse's fiance on Twitter. Her bio is
Fiance.
just yeah. Her bio is just Mrs. Saddle Horse. So like, dude has a brand. Like he's like, and he said something like he's like, it'd be awesome to do this in LA, in 4 years. So Mr. Saddle Horse might return.
I
Is
mean, you
all
got to keep it
all we're
up,
hearing.
dude.
Yeah,
It's on you. You are clearly in the driver's seat to keep in the saddle
in the saddle.
to
Gotta get
horse it
back
up
in the
in
saddle
LA.
to horse it up.
Use those shoulders. You got to keep it tight. I wonder if you could like chill out for 2 years and then the next 2 years you're like really on it. Probably not, right? I don't know. Life
Yeah,
is interesting like that.
I don't know. I feel like any type of Olympic sport, you kind of just have to keep honing the craft, and you can't really take time off.
Unless you're that dude. No, he probably shoots his pistol every single day.
The Turkish guy, he's just
Yeah.
he probably shoots it every day. I love the juxtaposition of that guy and then all the other guys with like all their gadgets on their eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, the wind is 2 degrees southeast, and if
He's
I
just
fire it
like,
here,
try being a man. He's like, "This is what we have to do. I shoot snakes on my front porch and they wiggle, and I don't ever miss." He's like, "I shoot mosquitoes out of the air." What a dog. He's
What?
the memes coming out of this 2024 Olympics have been absolutely
It's been great
ruling
for the
social
memes.
media. And you gotta appreciate it too, because you can't be like me being a bitch and being like, "Oh, why is she on TikTok all the time?" Because then they show up the next day and they absolutely,
They teach you why they're on TikTok all the time.
yeah, because they're so good at both. Talk about duality of woman.
Yeah.
They can figure out TikTok, which is a skill I don't have, and also do skills I don't have. So
Yeah.
pure respect from Kirby Ferris over here. Sam, I mean, Sam is a proud Tar Heel.
Oh
What are
yeah.
you most proud of this Olympics?
This Olympics, you know, I'm proud of how. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm losing everything right now. Like the
I'm giving
clock
you
is
a
striking.
direct lead in to the next bullet of the U.S. women's national team.
I'm proud of the women's soccer. Because the
Wow,
men in the
Sam.
Olympics, it's kind of lame, but the women, it actually means something.
Every 4 years, it's like, all right, men, go out there, and women, it's like, let's take it home. But
Well, it's
as a
yeah,
proud Tar Heel, which I am not,
yeah.
I respect it. I'd get a T-shirt to, you know, I did have a T-shirt. It says U.S. Women's Soccer Team on it, and was long sleeve. I was in a long sleeve T-shirt phase for about 7 years, and then Caroline called me out and was like, "You're the only person I know that wears long sleeve T-shirts." And I was like, "You know what? You're right. I'll wear a sweatshirt."
Sounds like some trauma.
It was a tough winter for me. 2019. Like, I went through a whole style thing. I figured out jeans weren't just an accessory; that jeans are pants. So I got glasses.
Wow.
Uh, I know. I got shoes that
Transform.
weren't tennis shoes. Anyways, why are we talking about me? We're talking about U.S. women's soccer. And the women's soccer team has really bounced back from last year's Olympics. I mean, from last year's World Cup. I was very worried that, I said it last year on the pod, that there's so much hype going into the World Cup. People were really paying attention to women's sports, and then they just completely failed with whoever
Fizzled
that
out.
coach was, that man. Dimitar, something like that. And we had our Megan Rapinos, we had our Alex Morgans, we had our cornerstones of my personal U.S. women's soccer team. I mean, Abby Wambach unfortunately retired too early, in my opinion. She was great, she was the best, but in this new era, and so I was like, oh shit, everyone thinks women sucks now because it,
Everything's
it,
changing.
it was on the. I was like, we're on the meteoric rise, and then they lost, and I was like, and everyone was like, yeah, women suck, and I was like, god damn it.
It's over.
But thankfully, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese came back. That 8 months later tore up the world, and now we're seeing it again with women's basketball, and now we're seeing a new era of women's soccer. Sam, a
Yeah.
new U.S. of A. Which I didn't grow up with any of these players. It was about maybe 2016. I was introduced to Lindsey Horan and our Rose Lavelles, and now we have all of these other girls that I didn't have their jersey. I wasn't wondering if they were gay. I wasn't taking quizzes, being like, "Which U.S. women's national team are you?" But now we have Mallory Swanson, Fox, your girl from
Emily
UNC,
Fox. We would
the
have been there
best.
at the same time. Yeah.
Did you ever
Me and
see her?
Emily. I went to the games. Yeah.
Look at this women's soccer supporter.
I went to like all the games.
Man, and you were in school? Good for you. How'd you have the
No,
time?
honestly, part of the time I was there, they were doing reconstruction on the main soccer field,
Mm.
and so all of men's and women's soccer took place in Cary, North Carolina, which is
Oh,
like
really?
a 30-minute drive away from Chapel Hill. But
They have all the nice fields in
we went.
Cary.
Oh, Wake Med Park. Shout
It's
out.
unbelievable. That grass there. North Carolina really knows how to play some soccer.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
insane. Anyways, Trinity Rodman, also
Yeah.
great. And then we have Sophia Smith. Yes. Or now called the Trident. My head is the third.
The middle.
The middle, yeah. They've scored, I believe they've scored, the US women's national team has scored 12 or 11 goals, and the Trident has scored 10 of them.
That's insane.
Isn't that insane? So I'm kind of like, I was a little bummed when Alex Morgan didn't make the team because there's this new coach, Emma Hayes, has come onto the scene.
Mm-hmm.
This British woman, which, fine. I think my hot take, that should be a cold take, is that coaches in the Olympics should be of the nationality. But it's fine. I feel like that's totally fair, is it not?
I'm not gonna lie. I watched the Olympics on my aforementioned boys trip. First off, watching sports on the West Coast, it's different. It's interesting. But I watched
Okay, say more. What do you mean?
like everything starts a little later, and it's all the West Coast vibes. It's
You mean
interesting.
earlier?
Yeah. Well, no, later. Well, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway.
Earlier.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Earlier. You're right. You're right.
Right. It's like Monday Night Football. You get off of work and you have to go directly to the stadium for
Yeah.
5
Anyway,
p.m.
what I was getting to is that I watched the first U.S. versus Germany women's game where we beat Germany,
Yeah.
and they went to interview the coach afterwards, and she was British, and I was like, whoa,
Whoa.
hold on a second, something's not right here.
But Emma Hayes has made her stamp on U.S. soccer already. She showed up in May. I don't know who their coach was. They must have had an interim coach for a while, but she showed up in May. Going into the Olympics, she'd only coached 4 games. And so many people have said, I was listening to the game. So many people. I heard one person say, they said, the U.S. team didn't have many expectations coming into the Olympics. I sure had expectations. I think I have expectations for every single
See
American
what's
when
gonna
they come
happen.
on the track, the field, the court, the pool,
the sand,
the sand, the ping pong table, everything.
the sen.
But they're like, they barely know Emma Hayes, whatever, this new roster. They knocked off all the old kids. And I'm like, you know what? America, obviously, I think we're ranked 5th for the first time. I think it's been like since 2004, or maybe since they started ranking women national soccer. I mean,
Mhm.
international soccer, that the U.S. hasn't been 1 or 2. And it's like, what's that about? Sure, we had a bad World Cup. Fine.
Yeah, new year, new team though.
New year, new team. It's America. Come on. How are you going to dog us like that? But Coach Emma Hayes, since joining, she's currently has 7 wins and 1 draw, 0 losses for the Americans. And we showed up hot. We won every single game in the group stage, which is the first time they've done that since like 2008. And we're just cooking. The women's, I'm back. I wasn't watching for a while, but I'm back. I love their game is just fast and on the wings.
Yeah.
And man, can they cross the ball? Crystal Dunn from the left corner hit it all the way, just the worst kick for a corner kick. Just kicked it to the other side of the field. Just completely missed the box. And I was like, wow, I couldn't, that's, do you know how hard she had to kick that?
Yeah.
To miss that bad? It's like one of those things where I'm like, wow, she did a great job, even though she didn't. But they're so fast. They're so strong. You can tell Emma Hayes is really pushing them. She said, I want them to suffer. She showed them a video of a 100-mile runner being like, when I get into the pain, I pretend like I'm in a cave. I'm in a pain cave. And I just keep knocking. Just keep, whatever this is called, hitting it with my pipe. What is this called?
Pick.
Pick.
Pickaxe.
Thank you. Your little pick, hitting the coal. Just keep going till the race is won. Because she was I think it was in the Japan game. They went to extra time, and she didn't make any subs, and it was like major T because everyone looked so tired. And she was like, "Yeah, I don't regret anything. Because the girls need to be out there, and they need to suffer. I'm going to keep the starting group together as long as possible because they need to, learn some grit." And it's like, I get it in practice when you're like, you do the whole hour and a half practice and then you're like, all right, go run for 30 minutes. And, the coach is like, this is when you're going to have to knock into this, in that last part of the game. And this is where you win. But girl is doing that in the Olympics. In the quarterfinal game, she said, y'all, come on, keep
Yeah.
running. Another lap. Someone didn't finish in time, so you're all going to go again. Kirby showed up late. Sam didn't bring his cleats out. Y'all got to keep running. But apparently she's a great coach. She's the real deal. She won Miss Emma won 16 trophies with Chelsea in 12 years, which, if you don't know, it's a Premier League club, women, of course.
Of course.
And quote, this won me over. I was a little hesitant, of course, because she's British, obviously. And someone said, the coach, who has become known over the course of her career for tactical flexibility, I love that, introspective answers to the media, I mean, talk about Bill Belichick, and ruthless desire to win, speaks often of how she was born in England, but made in America. I mean, might as well call her Ford Tough at this
One
point.
of us, yeah.
She
Fort Tough.
she is American. And after they were talking about she beat the once they won the Germany game. They were like, "Hey, you excited to play are you worried about playing Brazil in the next match?" And she's like, "Absolutely not. I need a drink." And I was like, "Word. Speak what's on your mind, sister.
All right,
Go
let's
get
go.
yourself a big old lager." I don't even know. I mean, I guess they have wine in France. Do they
Yeah,
have beer there? I've been there twice. One, I
probably
was
do.
underaged. The second time, I was underaged,
I would imagine they
but
have
not
beer
there.
everywhere.
French beer? No. Peroni's Italian.
Just some champagne.
Just champagne. That's not a drink. If you're saying I'm not worried, I need a drink, it's not champagne.
That's fair. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I
you're
was
not
just thinking
having
of
a French
France though.
75 after. I mean, you might have a gin and tonic, but you're not about to have champagne.
Yeah.
What if she just has a stiff ass whiskey? She's so cool. She's
she
immediately so
she
cool.
looks like she could enjoy a stiff whiskey.
Doesn't she? She looks like she can enjoy it. Never mind.
She honestly does kind of have like the Belichick air about her. Like I'm just here to
Right?
win, and like
She's like,
I'm
I
not
don't
taking
fucking
any shit.
care. You're gonna do your job. We're gonna do this the American way. That's what she
Exactly.
said. She was like, I
Exactly.
don't. Maybe I'm from England, but I might as well be from Michigan.
It's a little Irish, but yeah,
You
close
think so?
enough.
I do Irish. I've been. Yeah, I started at Scottish.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing better at Irish, and I don't think I'll ever do British very well.
Yeah. Well, just don't get yourself in trouble, because there's a whole thing I feel like with the whole United Kingdom.
What?
It's like the UK doesn't put any like teams in the Olympics because they don't want like because like England and like Scotland all have their own national teams, and they don't want to like have a UK team because that would show like that they're not independent countries even though they're in the UK.
I mean, I guess they're runners.
Right, like individually
You
they'll
can
like
run
go and
for
compete.
Great Britain. They run for Great
Yeah,
Britain.
but they don't do like a soccer team, like a UK soccer team, because it's like no, we have
That
English soccer and we
sucks
have
because they're
Scottish soccer.
limiting another way for England to not bring it home. But lastly,
Lastly,
before I get myself into too much trouble, because who knows what I'll say next about the U.S. women's national team. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be insightful, it could be green eggs and ham. I feel like I was like teetering with being Dr. Seuss there. Which brings me to you, Sam.
the cutie
Sam
of
is an
Raleigh.
influencer. If you recall, listeners and video folks, when Sam texted me one day from Target and said, I'm going to dye my hair, after
Yeah.
I just told him months prior that he should grow out his hair because he had this crazy AI generated photo where I was like, who is that? And you're like, that's me. I'm like, Sam, that's not you. I was like, you look
Yeah.
really great with long hair though. So he went on this endeavor and then he kind of wussed out and he was like, I gotta cut it. So he
Yeah.
does the
It
boy
was
thing and he
time.
cuts it all off. And
It
then
was
he
time.
goes, hey Kirby, turns out I'm gonna dye my hair. And I didn't want to say anything. You know, I was like, are you okay? Because, changing the hairstyle really dramatically. But it turns out he was just the leader
Yeah.
because Joe Burrow walked out training camp day one looking the best I've ever seen him. Buzz cut,
Slim
dye
Shady.
blonde. he changed. He really walked the world, first of all, in Paris with that open back suit, and then most controversial haircut I've ever seen. I'm on work calls, and they're like, "What do you think about Joe Burrow's hair?" And I was like, "He's never looked better." And they're like, "I think I think his hair was doing everything for me." And I was like, "Whoa, that's just like incorrect." But you know, whatever. But Sam, how did you feel seeing Joe Burrow look exactly like you? Just completely take your look.
I was honored. He can rock it. He's got a bigger platform than me, so he can spread it a little
I don't know
further
about
than I
that.
might be able to. But that's what it's all about. It's white boy summer, so you just gotta rock out however you need to rock out.
I don't know about that. White boy summer. Like I said, as we're ending summer, my prediction that I was going to be the lesbian summer is correct. I was actually quite pleased by that. Chaperone, some other gay stuff going on. The lesbians, you gotta be looking out, and obviously it's Olympic time, so
Watch out.
look at that representation. Anyways, thank you all for listening. You can follow us at Old Sam,
Old Sam.
no underscore,
No
at
underscore.
The Kirby Ferris Show. Catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Leave us a comment, like, follow, subscribe. There's all this stuff now. You can do any action. Oh, rate and review. That's exactly what you should do. Or comment on the YouTube video. If you're watching this right now and you've truly gotten this far, comment. Say I got this far. And I will send you put your routing number and your account number, and I'll send you some money. How about that? We can finally buy Sam a shirt.
Woo.
Good. Well, Sam, it's nice to talk. It's been so long.
It's been an honor.
I've been standing a very long time. Hope you've had a good summer. I've had a great summer, and the Olympics are closing it out, just like this episode. So thank you for listening, and goodbye, all.
Goodbye.